Hey there, everybody. Welcome to your November Central Phoenix market update. This is for the entirety of the Central Phoenix area from Camelback all the way down to just south of downtown between the 51 and the 17. Starting to see some signs of the slump that we've been in starting to hopefully lift. Not as strong of a sign as we saw in the Coronado update a couple weeks ago, but we are starting to see the pace of price decreases drop and starting to see sort of that shorter term indicator of the market as far as prices go begin to bounce back. So hopefully this is a longer term trend. Rates have dropped quite a bit. We're down below 6% last I saw in the valley for the best loans. I think we're hopefully starting to turn things around and looking forward to hopefully a better year next year. Let's get into the numbers. Start off with the number of active homes. This number started off the year climbing, and we had that pretty steep drop off in the summer as a lot of listings started to cancel. And it's been relatively flat. We saw it sort of start to climb, started to get a little bit of nervousness there as it was climbing throughout the fall, but it's dropped again now recently. So that is a good sign. We don't want that number to get too high because all that does is force prices down. Number of pending sales. Since our summer slump, this number has more or less stayed flat too. We would expect this to actually be dropping off now at this time of year, but it stayed pretty stable. I think this is most likely a result of the rate drop that we've seen over the last month or so. New listings, this number bounces around a little bit week to week, but overall that trend line is pretty stable. Homes sold over the last 30 days, you can see that this number was relatively flat since summertime. We are starting to see a little bit of an uptick over the last month. That's very unusual. We're in the fourth quarter of the year. This is typically the time when things start to slow down. Homes sold over the last 6 months. This is a longer term picture of what's going on in the market. The spring numbers dropped off, and that's why we were seeing this decrease over the last month or two, couple months, although it has flattened out now, which is a good sign. Average price drop. This is the average amount that sellers are having to drop their prices before the property is sold. You can see that this number dropped off a cliff in July with that wave of cancellations that we had. And the number was gradually climbing after that time. Now, in the last month or so, we have seen that number drop. So it seems as though we're hitting some sort of equilibrium as either sellers are not listing as high, agents are convincing them not to list as high, or things are selling more quickly and not having to drop their prices. Average sales price of the last 30 days. This is our more short-term volatile look at what's going on as far as prices go. You can see that this number has been ugly almost the entire year, but we have seen a turnaround here over the last month or so. And this will eventually begin to reflect in the longer-term 6-month average. Average price over the last 6 months, you can see that this number is still dropping some, but much more slowly. It peaked at around $539,000. We're now at about $475,000, so that total drop is about 12% for the year. However, it has only dropped about $5,000 in the last month or so. And if the trend continues, I think we'll begin to see prices increase again over the next few months. Seasonality might affect this, though, as it is fourth quarter and prices generally decrease during this time. This is where we get into the mixed bag, quote unquote, part of the update. This is the average closed price per square foot. Typically, the sales prices run in more or less in tandem with the closed price per square foot. In this particular case, they're kind of doing the opposite. Still dropping some, not seeing much of a trend in the other direction just yet on this one. Average days on market, both active and pending. You can see that these numbers have both more or less stabilized after climbing throughout the year. Seems like and feels like, just generally speaking, on the market that we have reached kind of a new normal. So hopefully we continue to see this, at least this leveling off, and that way we're starting to see the market kind of normalize. There you have it, folks. Our Central Phoenix market update for November. This is, again, the entirety of the Central Phoenix market. This includes condos, single-family homes. So because condos are a little slower, they are slowing the recovery down a little bit. But overall, the numbers are starting to look a little bit more positive. As rates continue to drop, we're expecting them to drop just a little bit more. We're hoping to see that continued acceleration of this trend. If you have any questions for me, you can call me at 480-694-7643 or drop me a line in the comments. Happy to help out in any way I can. And if you'd like to get these updates more regularly, subscribe to this channel, like or do anything you can to support this channel. It would be much appreciated. Have a good one.